Another day in a crosswind. Doesn't look much different, but did a lot of grinding today and discovered a few things, which is good at this stage so that I can at least correct them or repair them rather than figuring it out later. So one thing of note is right here. So that's my finger. So you can see it's about a finger width. So that's the hull. Finger width worth of glass to hold in what was really not a structural item. So my impression on it is that it is actually structural. So even though not a lot of it would be used to hold that separator in place, so you can see the compound here that would be used for that. All that glass really does provide rigidity as far as my experience goes. So I am going to grind it down, but I'm going to replace it pretty much exactly as is. They may have done it because, and that's actually probably a new one, because you can see, again, it's slightly bluish in color here. So this might have been an add-on later on. And you can see, I'll show you a little bit closer over to the other side, is that's not an air bubble. That's gel coat from the first repair. So you can see it sort of all the way up here and all the way up here too. This is really the best place to see. It is dark, but all that white or that yellow underneath is gel coat. So someone went over, and this is to hold the bunk in. So someone went over it with a lot of extra glass to hold it in. So I'm going to remove it and duplicate what they did just with fresh glass. So even though it's good, it's probably fine. I'd rather just do it all now rather than do it later. And the other thing that I'm going to do is back here. So you might be able to see right here, the plywood is not great. So even though it wasn't overly wet, there must have been still some water that got back there. So after I do something here, maybe just set up a jack or something to keep the cockpit sort of spaced where it is, I am going to remove that and replace it with something fresh. Did sand a whole bunch, so I ground this all the way down, and this whole back part was just filled with white fine powder that we saw last time. And I'm going to do the same thing here, so I'm going to grind it all down. And so for those of you who have a shark, this is kind of what, if you're going to go into a lot of trouble to fix it, like I am, this is kind of what you're working with. There's a lot of this right here. So compound that was used to hold in sort of the sidewall for the bunk, lots of voids, and for 1968 and for what was apparently 18 hours. I don't think it was man hours. I think it was just 18 hours, on the line to build this thing. It's very solid. So that's today. We'll see you next time.